Let's talk about you are Angel Moon with Coldplay, and you have traveled the world literally. Can you talk about how you got hooked up in this experience and became Angel Moon?
So it was just as simple as my agent, Trish Ryan, reaching out and saying, "Hey, do you want to send in your reel for this project?" And it was just, I think it was probably very vague and being on the road with a band for a year. And I was like, sure. Because it's another one of those things is don't shy away from something that's strange and unusual and different. So I was like, yeah, sure. Let me send my reel. And then, months went by and then I found out I got it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to travel. And then I found out it was Coldplay and I was like, I'm going to travel the world with Coldplay. And at that time, I thought it was just going to be a year-long gig, and it ended up being more than that, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah.
So can you kind of set up, maybe for somebody who hasn't seen the Coldplay show, like what this moment in the show is? And
yeah. So there's two moments. Mm-hmm. And one moment is Angel Moon singing during Human Heart, the song. And for a while, it was just Angel Moon. And Chris would come down from A stage, down along the catwalk, I don't know what it's called, to B stage, which is a circle in the middle of the audience. And he would sing with Angel Moon, and we would do a duet together. And it was actually very sweet and touching. And then now it changed. The show is always changing. And so now it's me and Donk, which is Drew Massey's puppet, doing a duet together. And then Chris Martin comes down the walkway and joins us at the very end. And then for a while, I was lip syncing to Beautiful, which is Angel Moon is featured in the music video. Mm-hmm. And so she would come on during Beautiful and sing Beautiful with Chris Martin on A stage, which was amazing. And then now it's changed to Good Feelings, where all the weirdos are together dancing and singing to Good Feelings. So it's ever evolving.
Yeah. And are you actually singing? Or are you lip syncing? Or
I'm lip syncing.
Lip syncing.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. I would be a nervous wreck if I had to sing in front of that.
I know.
Many people. Not that you couldn't do it. I'm just saying I would be a nervous wreck. Yeah. So it must be this incredible experience because I can only imagine how many people every night on this tour you're singing in front of, and not to mention, you're in another country as well.
Yeah, it's so I Googled it last night in preparation for this interview, and I think all the tickets that have been sold since early 2022 so far, I think it's over 12 million.
Wow.
Yeah. 12 million. 10 to 12 million, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've been to 37 countries since 2022.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that too. Like, has any of this been, because I've had a little bit of touring the U.S., not anywhere on the scale that you're doing, but is it a bus tour? Like, are you on a bus, or are you flying places, or like, how is the travel?
Mostly flying places. I think when we did the North American tour, we were busing between state to state for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But aside from that little portion, everything has been flying. And it's really great too, because the tour itself is very eco-conscious. So they do a lot of work with making it less harmful for the planet to tour, like always using electric vehicles when they can. And I think they run the show off of cooking oil as part of it. And it's great too, because in the concert, there's a little portion where people can ride bikes and jump up and down on a dance floor, and all of that movement adds to the power that runs the show. It's really neat.
Yeah. When the Coldplay tour started, you were touring with some other Henson puppeteers. Like I know Russ Walco went out, and Tyler Bunch and Drew and everything. But now when you are touring, you're working with sort of local puppeteers. Can you talk about the experience of traveling to different places and meeting local puppeteers from all around the world, these 37 countries you've been to?
Right. So it was absolutely wonderful working with the Henson puppeteers because, again, all my friends,
right.
We adore each other and we love working with each other. And they're so talented. They're so knowledgeable of what they're doing. Tyler Bunch is amazing. Artie Esposito, Russ Walco. I mean, my goodness, Amanda Maddock, Drew Massey. So they only came out every once in a while during the first year because sometimes they would just be like, hey, we want the weirdos in these few shows. And then like in Argentina, they played in Argentina and then they would go home. And then I would just be alone, just Angel Moon in the show. But then the second year, they wanted to do local puppeteers because Coldplay is very, very generous with local artists. Oftentimes, Chris will find a local artist singing in a public area and then invite them to be on the show with him. So he's very, very generous. They all are about local artists. And so what they would do is they would bring local puppeteers in, and then I would work with them and train them in a very, very short amount of time for the show that day. I would have one rehearsal with them on stage, and I would work with them, showing them how to position their bodies and how to puppeteer specific characters, and I would, have them practice over and over and over again. And then I would come to their dressing room later on in the day and have like a mini rehearsal within the dressing room. And it was I would say that's my favorite part of this whole job, is working with puppeteers from all over the world. I mean, what an incredible gift that is to me, to be able to talk to all these different artists from all over the world and learn from them what puppetry is like in their culture. And a lot of them are marionettists. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, I have never done this type of puppet before. I'm like, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then sometimes we would have an off day and the local puppeteers would be so welcoming and kind to me that they would invite me out and we would have a day of adventuring. They would show me their country. They would show me their city and be really proud to do that. And so, yeah, I got to experience the world in a different way by making friends all over.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Well, and it's kind of like what you set out to do is teaching theater. You're teaching these puppeteers.
Yes.
You're doing it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I mean, I wanted to teach anything, and I just happened to love theater, so that's what I wanted to teach. And now I'm teaching puppetry, and it's incredible, Grant. I mean, I'm so thankful. And everyone has been so kind to me and so willing and excited to absorb anything I say, which is really fun because they're just so grateful to be there, and as am I. And we're just, it's really fun watching them put on Henson puppets and then say to their friends, oh my gosh, can you believe we are putting and puppeteering Henson puppets on our hands? And I go, I have to think to myself like, yes, that's right. This is such a privilege that you and I get to do all the time. And for people all over the world, that's a rarity. Yeah.
Well, I did want to ask, I mean, if you listen to podcasts, you listen to comedians or you listen to rock and roll people like talking about, they always have like crazy tour stories of crazy things. Like, do you have any story that you can share with us of like, oh, the one night the lights went out? I don't know, whatever, like one crazy thing that happened.
Yeah, recently, actually. It was Guy, the bassist of the band, was sick unexpectedly. And he couldn't do the show. And I think that was the first time in all of Coldplay history that a band member couldn't do the show and the others could. Mm-hmm. And so what they did was they took Bill Rocco, he's one of the producers of the show, of the music, and they just put him in a jumpsuit. And then they put, in the show, the band wears alien heads for one song in the show, and they just put one of those alien heads on him. And he just held a bass and just kind of rocked out with Coldplay, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I feel sorry for Guy, but that was pretty cool for Bill Rocco.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's always craziness that happens, and no matter what scale of the tour, it seems like you could have a worldwide tour like yours, or a tiny little puppet tour traveling the East Coast. Can have crazy stories.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure in those moments too on stage, that's where your improv kicks in, right? You know you can handle anything. I wanted to, as we start to wrap up here, I wanted to ask about, if you want to talk about Strawberry the Gnome, and about what people can look forward to maybe with Strawberry.
Yeah. Strawberry the Gnome is a gnome puppet that I bring on tour with me, and any off days or time I have in the city, I bring the gnome and I take her and I do little videos of her in front of different landmarks of the country, whatever's like most known in that country. basically the first year I didn't do this. And then Drew was like, you should bring a puppet and you should, do videos with a puppet. And I was like, oh, I already wasted a year. I didn't do it the first time. So why do it now?
Yeah.
Which is silly.
Yeah, no, do it.
Yes, I should. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And so I brought this puppet and I started doing all these videos. And I think eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a TikTok and I'm going to start an Instagram. And I think the handle is going to be Strawberry Nomad.
I like it.
Hey.
Yes, yeah.
But I haven't put anything up yet.
Yeah. Well, if people follow you, you'll definitely, when that time comes out,
I'll announce it on Instagram.
Yeah. When I was fortunate enough to do 2 Mystery Science Theater tours, and I brought my little Uncle Interloper puppet, and he's small, he fits in a bag.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of fun because you kind of, I don't know, it can get a little boring. I mean, you're on this great, amazing tour. And so I'm not saying that the tour, it's boring, but the downtime.
Right.
So to have something fun to work on is really great.
And what I found is it got me outside. It got me doing things. Because often I would be like, oh, goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do in this city. There's so much to do. Should I just, and I would often stay in my little room and sleep, which is important. But it really got me out exploring the world. And I had an excuse to go out and see the Eiffel Tower. I had an excuse to go out and see, the Sydney Opera House. And it really got me to experience the world in a different way.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to seeing Strawberry's adventures when they arrive.